Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you are welcome to this Shabbat of this morning. And I glorify the name of the Lord for what He is doing, for what He has done, and for what He's going to do in our life. We thank Him for the opportunity that has granted us to be among those living in the land of the living. Because if we look back from last year, if we look back from the beginning of the year, if we look back even though from last month, even if we look back from last week, and even let's put it further again, if we look back from yesterday, it's not everybody that was alive yesterday that is alive now. But we thank God that we are among those who is alive or who are alive and we're praising the name of the Lord. It's not because we are smart, right? It's not because we are the PhD holders, or it's not because we know how to heal or how to cure ourselves, but it's because of His grace, because of the grace of the Eternal One, blessed be He, that has bestowed upon us as a community, as individually, and as a nation, in our province and in our city that we live. We thank Him for everything that for His miracle, for the provision, financially, materially, spiritually, and in every other areas of our life. We glorify His name for everything. Now, the parashah of this morning is called Parashah Pinchas. The parashah of this morning is called Parashah Pinchas, and I subtitle it Righteous Zealotry. Righteous Zealotry. And I repeat myself again, the parashah of this morning is known as Parashah Pinchas, and I subtitle it, right? The subtitle is what? The subtitle is known as Righteous Zealotry. And this is where I am coming from this morning. I want us to understand, and before I start, I want to quickly remind us that as the month of Tammuz is waning, that is, as the month of Tammuz is going to an end, the high holidays are rapidly approaching. Indeed, Tammuz can be seen as an acronym of the Hebrew phrase Zmanei Teshuvah Me'mashmishin U'va'in. That means that the time of repentance are coming closer and closer. The time of repentance are coming closer and closer. Therefore, now is the time to examine ourselves. It is time for us to examine our action. It is time to examine what we are doing. It is time for us to retrospect our actions, because the time of repentance is coming and is very close. So please, my people, if you know what you are doing, if we know that what we are doing is not part, or is not in the part of the Torah, please let us desist, because the time of repentance is coming closer and closer, as I said before. All right. So the Parashah Pinchas is the second longest. Is the second longest parashah in the Torah, and it details a lot of various things, and I'm going to quickly give us a summary of what it details, or the details are. The reward of Pinchas, the priesthood for his act of righteous zealotry, related at the end of the parashah, previous parashah Balak. Remember that last week we saw the action of Pinchas. Pinchas is the grandson of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol. Okay, he is the son of Eliezer, who is the present Kohen Gadol. All right, that is his son. So he's the grandson of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol. So this man has they call it a zealot, and so I'm going to come back into that later on. Remember that Balaam could not curse Israel because Balak took Balaam last week. Remember that Balak took Balaam to the mountain, to different places 3 times, so that they can curse Israel. And God said, you cannot curse Israel because Israel is blessed. It's a blessed nation, and his God is with him. He cannot be cursed. So he tried, he failed. So he was just pronouncing blessing upon them. Like the song that we sang every Shabbat, Matovu. Matovu is a blessing of Balaam to Israel. Yes, Matovu is a blessing of Balaam to Israel. So that is why we sing that every day, because it's a prophecy that will stand for eternity. All right. So this man could not curse Israel. So he said, okay, you know what? I have a plan. Because we cannot curse them. It is impossible for you to curse them. You have to do something. You have to do what? You have to plant a virus in their midst. You have to plant what? Plant a virus that will eat them from inside out. You see how man is wicked. He tried. He couldn't do that. Spiritually, God is not allowing him. So he said, okay, let us bring a physical thing to do what? To eat them from the inside out. So he planned that, okay, Balak, what you can do now is, because I know that their God hates sin. Their God does not like to see sin. But the gods of Balak love sin. He enjoys sin. In the sin, that's why he's happy. But the God of Israel does not like sin. He does not like to see what? He does not like to see sexual immorality. He hates immoral thing. He doesn't want to see it. So let us do it this way. Let all your women, all your girls, let your girl, the Midianite and the Moabite women, let them entice the Israelites and entice their men and bring their men to come and worship your God. And then their God will be annoyed with them, and their God will kill them. You see? Such evil conspiracy. And they did that, and it works. And God began to slay the people, because the people were going astray. And then Pinchas was who God used to stop that plague. And we are going to see that this morning. I'm just trying to give us a head up. The final census of the children of Israel before the entrance into the land of Israel. The matter of the inheritance of the daughters of Zealotry, and the showing of the land of Israel to Moshe before his death, and also the anointing of Yehoshua, that is Joshua, as his successor. The detailed quantity of the public daily and festival sacrifices that were to be offered by the children of Israel to Adonai after entering the land. In this Parashah, we have all the holidays and all the sacrificial, all the rules and all the regulations that has to be followed. So let's start the Parashah in details. The name Pinchas can also be spelled up, or can also be split up in two different words. It can be split up to Pin and Has. The name is combination of two words. Pin, Has. So Has in Pin in Hebrew meaning the male reproductive organ, while Has meaning what it means. It means mercy, compassion. That's what Has mean in Hebrew. So Pinchas could not bear to see the perverse sexual act of Zimri with the Midianite Cosby being performed in the full view of the entire assembly of the children of Israel, and enacted in the pity and mercy of the Holy One, blessed be He, and Moses, by killing the two sinners together. Okay? Pinchas, by showing pity on Adonai and Moses, spared the children of Israel from annihilation, the plague seas, and for his action, Pinchas was rewarded by God with the covenant of peace. Now, let us talk about the meaning of zealotry. What's the meaning of to be a zealot? Because we understand there's a lot of all kinds of interpretation. Because technically, you cannot just go, and do what? And kill a man. You can't go and kill a man, because you are doing that outside of the law. Because when the man sinned According to the halacha, what does it say? If somebody sin, they have to bring that person towards God into the what? Into the temple. And the Sanhedrin, the judges, they will do what? They will make a judge. If the person is guilty, or if the person is not what? If it is not guilty. But we need to understand that this take what? This take process of time. Even though in our present day court, we see sometimes it might take years. So to actually know that that person is guilty or not guilty. But in this case, it is an instantaneous stuff. It's an instantaneous thing. There is no time to waste. Because if you waste too much time, the people will be slaughtered. The people will be killed. Because remember, God said the plague has started. And the people have started dying. In one day, they lost 24,000 men. 24,000 people wiped out. Just like this coronavirus. The planet has lost over 3 to 4 million people wiped out in under 1 year. That is a great plague. 4 million wiped out in what 1 year, both old and young. You see, so this was a great plague for the people of Israel, because in one day 24,000 men has been wiped out. So we need instant action to stop the plague. You don't have to, just like what our societies did, right? Under 1 year, they make a vaccine. But normally, you should take like 3-4 years for a vaccine, a good vaccine, to be made. But there is no time to waste. You have to do it, you have to roll it out quickly, or else people will just be dying like chicken. The same thing here, as a zealot, Pinchas moving instantly and killed Zimri and Cosby to stop the plague. So I want us to understand, I want us to define what is a zealot or who is a zealot. Because many people think that if you're a nationalist, that means that you are a zealot. No. A zealot, I want us to understand what does it mean. What does a zealot mean? The true zealot is an utterly selfless individual. The true zealot is an utterly selfless individual. One who is concerned only about the relationship between God and his people. One who is only concerned about the relationship between God and his people, with no thought of his own feeling on the matter. The moment his personal prejudice and inclination are involved, he ceases to be a zealot. Okay? Because if you want to see, as Pinchas killed Zimri and Cosby, right? Zimri is an Israelite. He is a chief among the people of the tribe of Simonite. He's a chief there, right? And this man who's supposed to live according to the example, that saying that all his people will follow his own example. He was the one that went and get this Midianite woman. And this Midianite woman took him and they went to go and worship their gods, not the God of Israel. They went to the temple of the gods of the Midianite to go and worship. And he came and started doing, in the face of everybody, to perform an immoral act. In the face of everybody. Say, oh, let everybody see. There's no problem. It is good. Just like exactly what we are seeing in our world these days. Right? Pinchas did not kill him because he doesn't like Zimri. No, he didn't kill him because he jealous him. No, he didn't kill him because he has a prejudice against him. No, he killed him instantly because of his sexual immoral act, because of the evil that he has brought upon his own people, upon the people of Israel. Remember that God said, "You are your brother's keepers." We are our brother's keeper. Keep on saying it every time. We are our brother's keepers. Pinchas sees every Israelite as one. Pinchas sees every Israelite as we are one, and it is true we are one before God, because our fathers are one. We are from Abraham, from Yitzhak from Yaakov. We are all brothers. But Zimri is seeing it from another perspective. Zimri is seeing it as if, listen, you are Judah, you are Issachar, you are Benjamin, you are Ephraimite, you are Manasseh. Me and we are different. We, the Simonites, are different. You see, that is his own understanding. That is his own sin. Say, oh, me and my people, me and my tribe, we can go and do whatsoever we want. And Pinchas said, no, that doesn't work. No, that won't work. We are one. My brothers and my sister, we are what? We are one. You are my brothers, you are my sister, and I will stand up to defend you. I will stand up to defend every one of you. Likewise, you have to stand up and defend me. We are brothers and sisters. We are one. So you cannot go and say you want to go and worship another god and be rejoicing and be committing sexual perversiveness and be bringing evil upon the people. That won't work. That won't happen. And so that is why he killed him instantly. And the Torah said, and the plague stopped. So we can see here that an instant action is needed to stop the plague. And if an instant action is not taken, the people will be wiped out. So Pinchas was a zealous. He wasn't somebody that said, oh, okay, you see, that guy, I don't like him. I hate him. You see, the guy is getting more wealthy, he's getting more spiritually understanding, he's getting bigger and bigger, and he's growing, he's popular, he's getting popular. Oh, okay. Then you wait until you have an opportunity. Maybe the person did something that is wrong. Then you jump up. Then you start going to kill him. Then you kill him. That is not a zealotry. That is not a zealot. You are not a zealot. You are a killer. Because you plan and you're waiting for an opportunity to kill somebody. That is not a zealot. A zealot is, as I said, is somebody who wants to make sure that there is a judgment, an instant judgment, where he doesn't have his own self-feeling or prejudice involved. Once his prejudice or his own personal feeling is involved, then he ceases to be a zealot. Then such a person is a killer, not a zealot. Because we have them a lot in the land of Israel now. We have a lot of them, killing people for no reason. They say, this one is a Palestinian, this one is an Arab, this one is... God should start killing people. They want to copy, they say, we are zealous. How are you a zealot? You are a killer. You are not a zealot. A zealot is a man that stands up to defend the interests of his people without his own prejudice being involved. Because we have our own personal prejudice. These are Muslims. They are not good. Who are you to tell you? Who are you to judge that they are not good? These people, they are evil. You don't judge. Wait. Let God judge himself. Your job is to carry the weight of the Torah. Your job is to carry the load of the Torah and speak the truth, and that is it. And God will do the rest. Okay. Therefore say, behold, I give him a covenant of peace. The Midrash Bereishit Rabbah states, justice requires that Pinchas receive his reward. Okay. This teaches that when Adonai judges man's sins, he judges based on man's level, as if to say, what more could one expect from a lowly human? In contrast, when he weighs man's good deed, he does so from his own perspective, as if to say, look, how man did the will of the King of Kings. In light of this, we can understand the above Midrash as follows. Justice requires that Pinchas receive his reward. That is, strict justice would dictate that man be rewarded only on his own level. But due to the kindness, I rewarded man with an eternal reward, a reward on my own level. So, what am I saying here? What is the Midrash is saying here? The Midrash is saying that, listen, that God judged man not according to our standard. Okay? Because, that when a man did what is evil, when a man did what is not right in the sight of God, right? That when a man did what is not right in the sight of God, a man is judged, but God judged man according to the level of a man. Okay? When a man did what is wrong, when a man commits a crime, when a man commits iniquity, a sin, right, against God, God judged man according to man's standard. But when man did what is very special, when man did what is positive, when man did what is good, God does not judge that man according to the level of a man. God judged that man according to his own level. Can you see that? It's two different things. Okay? When the man commits a sin, God judged the man according to the level of a man. Because it's a man, it's a son. What do you expect? He's a lonely human being. It's not an angel. I mean, he's a man. Okay, we know he did wrong, so let's judge him like a child. He's a child. Okay? But when a child did something that is supernaturally good, when a child that you don't even expect that he can do that, and he did something that is fantastic, you judge that child and the higher understanding. You give him more blessing. That is what the Midrash is saying. So therefore, we need to understand from that perspective that the compensation, the reward of Pinchas doing what is just, doing what is right, killing Zimri and Cosby, God judged him God gave him that reward, that higher level of reward, making him a Kohen, because technically he cannot be a Kohen. Even though he is the grandson of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol. No, because he was born before that title was given. He was born before that title was given. And remember also that Pinchas made it into the land of Israel. It's one of the people that made it into the land of Israel. You know, it's not only Caleb and Yehoshua. Pinchas made it into the land of Israel. So this is what I am saying, that God will judge you according to your actions. What is the action? What is the action of Pinchas? The action of Pinchas is to put an end to sin, is to put an end to the sexual immorality, to put an end into the evil that is happening in the present day world. We can also see this also in the conspiracy against who? In the conspiracy against David Hamelech. Right? In the case of David Hamelech, we can see his son, right? That was advised by who? By Ahithophel. You know, they say, okay, you know what? You want to overthrow your father? I will give you advice. I will give you counsel. This is how to seal your kingdom. Right? Send away your father, take all your father's wives and begin to sleep with them in the public, showing that you are now the king. For you to be a king, take your father's concubine, sleep with them in the public, in the eyes of all Israel, and you become king. And he was doing it, and he fell. You can see, so this we can see that the evil of a man that we can see even in our own society at the present day. Somebody will come and tell you all kinds of names, but if you begin to elaborate and talk, they call you that you are a bigot. When the society that we live in will tell you that a man can marry a man can live with a man, a woman can live with a woman. That one is even good. They tell you that children can even change their genders from as young as 3 years old. If you're a girl, you don't like to be a girl, you want to be a boy, just go to the surgery with the help of your mama and your papa. You can be a boy. And if you are a boy, you want to be a girl, with the help of your papa and your mama, who are already cuckoo in their head. They say, no, my daughter is a boy. My daughter is a boy because he's active, because he plays at 3 years old. What do you expect? Because he played with a car. Of course, a 3-year-old girl can play with a car because she cannot differentiate this. They say no. He's acting like a boy, or because he like any different color. They say, oh, his action is the action of a boy. So therefore, let me take her and change her gender. See, we are living in the end time. We are living in the time where sexual immorality, evil, is normal. And when you come out and said, this is not right, this is evil, like Pinchas came out and said, this won't stand. This is evil, complete evil in the sight of God. They call you, oh, that rabbi is a bigot. That rabbi is a bad man. That rabbi, oh, don't go to a synagogue. He only talk about sin. He doesn't talk about prosperity. How can you prosper in your sin? How can someone live in a sin and he want prosperity? I don't understand. How can that be? It is only in the world that we live in the 21st century, where the truth has been turned upside down. The leg is the head, while the head is the leg now. See? Where the social media is the judge, not the court. Not the court. Once they condemn you on social media, the judge has no right to set you free. You are condemned. Where Instagram, where Facebook, where Twitter decide who is wrong and who is right, who is on the who is on the right side and who is on the left side. That's how they decide, not in the law court. And remember, the Constitution says you are what? You are guiltless until you are found guilty. You as an individual is guiltless unless the court find you guilty. But now, no. Once Facebook and Twitter and Instagram find you guilty, you are guilty. Nobody can save you. You are guilty. So this is the world that we live in, and we as a child of God has to stand up like Pinchas stood up and say, this will not pass. Not why I am alive, not why I am a student of the Torah. I'm not saying that we should go and be killing people or be shooting people on the street. No. What I'm saying that we have to use our mouth as a weapon. Our mouth must be the weapon to speak out, not to stop keeping silent. We should stand up and speak the truth, because now the minority are controlling the whole thing. You know, let us know. All of us has to be uniform, right? Everybody has to. You have to respect, these evil people, this minority group, that call them, that shout more than any other things else. Their voice is so loud that you can't even hear again, right? They tell you it is called what do you call it? Whatever they call it in the West, all kinds of different names, hashtag Me Too or Black Lives Matter or whatever they call them, right? They use a word. They use an innocent, and you know what? They use an innocent ideology, and in the end, they turn that innocent ideology into an evil ideology, because that is how sin creeps in. It creeps in very, very subtle, that you even know. They say, oh, this is our cause. This is what we are protesting for. Wash. After 1 month, after 2 months, that thing that they are saying they are protesting for is actually a different thing. We're talking about human rights, right? Good. God gave right. We can see that in the Torah of this morning, in the issue, or in the issue of Zealotry, the daughters of the man that has five daughters. This man has five daughters with no son, and the man died, and the women stood up. They came to the leaders. They came to Moshe Rabbeinu. They said, Moshe, this is what happened. This is what happened. They came with a legitimate argument. They said, our father died, but our father was not among those people that rise against God. You see, they didn't say rise against Moshe. They said rise against God in the matter of who? In the matter of Korah. Because we remember that all Korah and his men, they were all consumed by God. He said, our father was not among them, but our father died of his own sin. But how is it that our father died without a son, and we don't want the name of our father to be what? To be erased? They said the truth. That was what it is written in the Torah. That is the Torah. The Torah said that the name of a man shall not be erased in his family. Never. And they came with a legitimate argument unto Moshe. And Moshe said, wait, let me go and inquire. He went to God and he came back and said, God told Moshe, they are right. These ladies said the truth. You shall give them the land among their brethren. And from that time, women can legally hold a property in Israel. Remember, back then, all the people in the Middle East, even though it's an African country, till now, women cannot hold a property. No, it's only the men. Only the men. Women, okay, this is my husband, that is it. If you don't have a son, your brothers, your husband, brothers, or a relative, you just come and take your land, take your house, take everything, they don't care. But in Israel, God lifted the women to the level of a man. He said, God is telling us that both of you are equal. Men and women are equal before God. Man can hold property, women can hold property too. But, there is a but. He said, these women must marry from where? From their own brethren. Remember, because if they go and marry from another, they are from the tribe of Manasseh. If they go and marry from the tribe of Yehuda, it's going to be a problem, because the men will come, he want to take that land as the land of Yehuda, and that is not the land of Yehuda, that is the land of Manasseh. And so God, in order to avoid intertribal war, intertribal fight, God said no, they cannot go and marry from another tribe. They have to marry from their own tribe. That land belongs to that tribe. In order to make peace, to have peace. Now, those women, our people of now, they say, oh, these are feminism. Hey, hi women. No. These women stood up for what is written in the Torah, for the truth of the Torah. But the Torah said, a man's name shall not be erased among his brethren. They are not fighting for themselves. They didn't say, oh, we the women came up. No. They came with a legitimate argument, saying that according to the Torah, we don't want our father's name to be erased. We want our father's name to be perpetual in his property on the land. And God said, they say the truth. That is the fact. And they have to respect that. And they respected them. And Moshe gave them. But what am I trying to bring out in this argument is that most of the people, most of the feminism, all this movement that we see today, they come with a nice cause, with a nice Jongan's argument, right? Oh, they think that your ears, yeah, that is good. Human rights. Yes, human rights is good. As far as it's not a devil's right. Human rights is good. As far as it's not a devil's right. Because on the time that you begin to say that man can marry a man, that is a devil's right. When you begin to say that a woman can sleep with a woman, that is a devil's right. When you say a boy can change their gender, that is evil. That is nothing to do with the right here. But they combine everything together inside one pot, boom, and make it a soup and give you and force it on your throat. You have to drink it by all means. Right? This minority making noise and disturbing the peace of the land. And if you speak against it, you are an evil person. You are a bigot. You hate them. You know? How can I like what is evil? Of course I hate what is evil. Because their action, I'm saying, I don't hate them as a person. I don't hate them as a human being. But I hate their actions. The problem is not them, but they try to use English language and say you hate them. You don't hate them as a human being. They are creation of God. They are made in the image of God. They are creation of God, right? But their action is not the image of God. Their actions that they are doing is the image of the opposite one, of the evil one. What they are doing is not right, according to the Torah. And according to what God has commanded us. So we as a group, we as a people, we have to stand up and use our mouth as a weapon. Right? Pinchas used a sword to kill them. But we have to use our word to disperse, to destroy these evil works. Because this war when I remember in the was it in the 90s or in the 80s, in the 90s, when they make not a referendum, there is a government approved what do you call it, view to ask if Canadians will want homosexualism, right? Over 70% of Canadians said no, we don't want it, we don't like it. But what happened? The government forced it on the people. They say, we don't care what we're saying. It's none of our business. We will do what we want to do, and they force the things on the people's neck, right? And now anything that you say, they tell you that they might even tell me now on the internet this is a hate speech. But I'm trying to say, I don't hate them as an individual. I don't hate them as a human being, but I hate their actions. The action is not of God, but it's of the devil. So we have to understand, if they have the psychological problem, then they should go fix it. If they have a mental problem, then they should go fix it. They shouldn't come and start pulling children. There's a man, a prime minister in Europe, the prime minister of Hungary. He was saying publicly 2 days ago, saying that he doesn't want to see any immoral act. He doesn't want to see any homosexualism in his country. And they said that they want to kick him out of EU. They want to kick him out of European Union because he's speaking against that. He said he doesn't want it for them to show that for children. He doesn't want them to be putting. You can show it maybe after 18 years. Yeah, you can show it, but for children, no, not in my country. I don't want that. This is not our culture. This is not our tradition of the Netherlands. Came out and said, "Oh, who are you to tell us? Blah, 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 blah. We will kick you out of EU." Because the man said that is not right for our own people. Right? You see the way the word is? So when you stand for the truth, you are the evil one. You are the minority one. And it's always like that. We can see that in the life of our father Abraham. God said, you are on the other side. The other side is always minority. We will all, you see, go stand on the other side. Stand on the other side. You are not with them because these people, they make too much noise. So I will only encourage the Prime Minister of Hungary to continue to stand up for the truth, to continue to stand up for what is right and just, that God will vindicate him when the time comes. Right? They want to bring all foreigners and make foreigners to occupy his entire land. He said, no, I don't want foreigners. When you are making all this propaganda of gay, right? And the people refuse to burn, what do you think? The land will be empty and people will come, foreigners will come and invade the land and take it. But I want my people to reproduce, to continue. So my people, this is what God is telling us this morning. Parashah Pinchas, righteous zealotry. We have to make sure that our zealousy, our zealotry is of a righteous one, not the one that you plan. Not because you see your brother that prosper, you see your sister that is prospering, you see your neighbor that is doing good, you see another person that your colleagues that is doing fantastic, and you wait, you plan your hair and you wait for the right time, for the opportunity when that person will do something that is just maybe something tiny that is wrong. Then you hammer them. They say yeah. God say no, that is not right. But a zealous is a man that wants to make things right between God and his people, to make that things is just and right. So we should be a Pinchas of our days. We should speak out and stand firm for what the Torah said, for what is right, for what is just. Do not allow them to pollute the mind of your daughters. Do not allow the people of the world to pollute the mind of your sons. Do not allow the people of the world to pollute the mind of your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. You have to warn them. You have to tell them this is what the Torah said. We have to keep their feet right in the path of justice, in the path of the Torah. God said, I love Abraham. Why did God love Abraham? He said, I love Abraham because Abraham will not depart from me, him and his children to come. It is a chain reaction. You see, the bond. It's a generational bond. It's a bond. It's a bond. From Abraham to Isaac, from Isaac to Jacob, from Jacob to the 12 fathers, from the 12 fathers unto us until these days. and we have to continue this path until the Messiah comes. Please, let us stand firm. Don't let us be discouraged. Don't let the people of the world manipulate our mind and reprogram our mind. We have to let the word of God dwell in us, firm and fit, so that when they come with their argument, we can defeat it with the word of the Torah. Because the Torah have foreseen that this time will come. The end time will come. And in the end time, everything will be upside down. The wrong will be the right, while the right will be the wrong. So we should stand on the right of the Torah, and God will continue to bless and keep us. Parashah Pinchas, righteous zealotry. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah.